Today we are at task number 10, Metasploit multi-handler. This task is part of What the Shell module, which is a prerequisite of the module upload vulnerabilities, which is part of the complete beginner path on TryHackMe. So multi-handler is a superb tool for catching reverse shells. It's essential if you want to use meta-preter shells and is the go-to when using staged payloads. Fortunately, is relatively easy to use. Open Metasploit with MSF console and then type use multi-handler and press enter. We are now primed to start a multi-handler session. Let's take a look at the available options using the options command. Here we see that Metasploit has started and then we are inside the multi-handler, which is part from the exploit. We press options and then here we can see the options that we have for that multi-handler. Localhost, local port, right? And then we have the exploit target. There are three options we need to set: payload, lhost, and lport. These are all identical to the options we set when generating shellcode with MSF Venom. A payload specific to our target, as well as a listening address and port with which we can receive a shell. Note that the lhost must be specific here, as Metasploit will not listen on all network interfaces like Netcat or Socat will. It must be told a specific address to listen with. When using TryHackMe, this will be your tune0 address. We set these options with the following commands. We use the set keyword and then payload for the payload, lhost, and lport. We should now be ready to start the listener. Let's do this by using exploit-j command. This tells Metasploit to launch the module running as a job in the background. Here we go for a sudo msf console-q, and then after we launch msf console, we use again the multi-handler. After that, we set the options. We go for the options and then we set the payload, which is for a Windows 64 architecture, shell, TCP, reverse shell. We set the lhost, we set the lport, and then exploit-j to exploit the running in the background job 0, right? And then exploit completed, but no session was created. Started reverse TCP handler on 10.11.12.223.443. You may notice that in the above screenshot, Metasploit is listening on a port under 10.24. To do this, Metasploit must be run with sudo permissions. When the staged payload generated in the previous task is run, Metasploit receives the connection, sending the reminder of the payload and gives us a reverse shell. Here we can see that. Sending the staged payload, right, generated to the address, command shell session1 opened, and we have a connection. Notice that because the multi-handler has originally backgrounded, we needed to use session1 to foreground it again. This worked as it was the only session running. Had there been other sessions active, we would have needed to use sessions to see all active sessions. Then use session and a number to select the appropriate session to foreground. This number would also have been displayed in the line where the shell was opened. See command shell session1 opened. Answer the questions below. What command can be used to start a listener in the background? Here we have it. Here with this command, exploit-j, we start in the background a session. I see it's not, yes, it's not registering because I used burp. Now if we go again and press it, boom. If we had just received our 10th reverse shell in the current Metasploit session, what would be the command used to foreground it? We go over here, we go for sessions, but instead of 1 is the 10th, is sessions 10. After we press sessions to see our all sessions, we need the current, we need the 10th reverse shell. Awesome.